The differences between Eastern and Western culture are easy to see. From food, clothing, religious beliefs, housing, education, entertainment, and so on and so on. The way people go about living their daily lives in the East usually isn't so different from how we live our lives in the West, albeit with some key differences. But have you ever wondered if there are any differences in stand-up comedy? Worry not, because today we are going to learn about the bizarre world of a Japanese form of storytelling you probably haven't heard of before. This is Rakugo. Rakugo originates from the 9th to 10th century, apparently created by an unknown number of Buddhist monks to make their sermons more interesting. The stories themselves, often called hanashi, can be traced back to a separate 13th century story collection called Yuji Sui Monogatari. As time progressed, the stories changed from short stories, called konabashi, to long monologues, presumably because of the requests of the daimyo, the feudal lord, who sought entertainment from these storytellers. Due to the appearance of the merchant class called shōin during Japan's Edo period, Rakugo became common knowledge to middle and lower classes. Around this time, those who could perform a Rakugo story were referred to as hanashika, nowadays called Rakugoka, which means person of the falling word. Within Rakugo, there exist several ranks, which help to show how skilled someone is at Rakugo performances. The lowest rank is Zenza, which means opening performance. These are apprentices who are still in training. The second rank is called Futatsume, which means second place. The third and final rank is called Shinuchi, and at this rank, a Rakugoka is considered a master of Rakugo. They aren't required to practice as much and can take on apprentices if they wish. The lower ranked Rakugoka must refer to anyone of Shinuchi rank as Shisho, which means teacher or mentor. In order to become a Shinuchi, a Rakugoka must become a part of a Rakugo association, also called Rakugo Kyokai, which consists of already established Shinuchi who organize performances and decide if a particular Futatsume is deemed ready to become a Shinuchi. There are two different styles of Rakugo performances depending on where the Rakugoka learned to perform: Osaka-style Rakugo and Tokyo-style Rakugo, also called Osaka-ben or Edo-ben. Osaka-ben is unique because of the use of a small table called a kendai. On top of the kendai are a pair of wooden blocks called kobayashi, which are banged on the table to signify either the beginning of the story or a change in the scene. Osaka-style Rakugo also typically perform a short music piece on either a shamisen, similar to a guitar, or a taiko drum at certain parts of the story. Tokyo-style Rakugo does not require the kendai or the kobayashi. Arguably the biggest difference in the two styles of Rakugo is advertising. Typically, a Rakugoka who studied Osaka-ben would announce what stories they would be performing weeks ahead of the actual performance, since mentioning the story in pamphlets or posters could potentially bring in a bigger audience. However, a Rakugoka who studied Edo-ben would typically decide what story they would tell after getting on stage and could see the audience. This was a safety measure in case there were any samurai in the audience, and the Rakugoka didn't want to tell a story that detrimented the samurai or put them in a bad light. Now, what typically surrounds a Rakugoka when they are performing? In most cases, Rakugo is performed at a commercial theater called Yosei. The actual Rakugo is performed on a stage called a koza. The Rakugoka is required to sit in the middle of the stage in the seiza sitting position, and stay in that position for the entirety of their performance. Microphones are placed in front of the Rakugoka in order to help project their voice, although it's not exactly known when they were added. Rakugoka are required to wear a traditional set of Japanese clothing called a yukata. The only items a Rakugoka is allowed to use as props during the performance are a small paper fan called a senzu and a small cloth called tengui. As the Rakugoka comes on stage, a small piece of music is played on a shamisen to accompany them.